my favorite part of any of it is being able to say, we got to wherever it's going to be parked. At this point, I don't care if something breaks, you can just leave it there. We'll drive the truck. We will just go back to Salt Lake. And there's just a free bus sitting somewhere on the side of the road in Idaho. Have at it.
Go for it. All right, guys, welcome back. We are back with our second episode here in Salt Lake with Adam. And we thought tonight would be a fun opportunity. We're here kind of planning out some stuff for this year with the Short Bus Diaries, with Wildfly, and with Blue Line. And we kind of thought this would be a fun opportunity to bring you guys in on kind of like a little brainstorm session that we wanted to have about the Short Bus Diaries and just kind of our thoughts, a little bit of a review from this past year and kind of what we thought, some of the things that we did well, some of the things we can improve on, and just kind of brainstorm some ideas for the future. And we would love for you guys to be involved in this, like we've said before. So if there's anything in here that you guys are curious about or you want to comment your mind about anything, anything we're talking about, just leave us a comment below. And yeah, we're hopefully gonna keep this bus rolling as long as we can. That's right. But kind of looking at the Short Bus Diaries in general, like this seemed like probably the most viewed and the most anticipated series in video series that we did this year.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, just trying to like understand like how we can try to understand like maybe why that was and, you know, maybe how we can kind of keep that going.
Yeah.
Going forward.
We definitely had a lot of people reaching out saying like they were interested in doing more bass stuff, but I didn't have a lot of people say they were interested in seeing more trout stuff. But yeah, it was definitely bass and short bus were like the two things that we heard a lot of, like we need more of it. Mm-hmm. Definitely think a bass short bus collab hybrid video would be is what the world needs. But I agree. We got a ton of positive comments, things like that from folks that said they loved the short bus. They want more of it. As far as why, I think it wraps in more than just your standard, grip and grin, hero shots, fly fishing film. Mm-hmm. And certainly while none of us are, beginner fly fishermen, we're all, none of us are expert, professional, whatever you want to say. We don't like live in just get paid to fly all over the world and fly fish some people.
We don't guide every single day. Like we're not out on the water.
Right.
And I think that's kind of part of it. It's like, although maybe buying a school bus is not super realistic for a lot of people, but like seeing guys who maybe aren't just guides, guys who are just, we're nothing special.
Have some day jobs, maybe not, 100% doing industry stuff. Maybe you've ever even been in the industry. But, people say, you might say the short bus, but so essentially we have roughly, each of us has about $450 in the short bus, right?
Yeah. Because how much was it again?
It was $1,800 before our, before some of the upgrades we had to do. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to do a lot of the upgrades. And a lot of the upgrades we did, as you probably remember, from plywood and 2x4s.
Yeah.
Like this stuff wasn't expensive. But, you say maybe not everyone has the means to go out and buy a school bus. Well, no. But most people that are interested in fly fishing might have an extra $450 laying around and 3 other guys that they want to buy
Yeah, you're right.
A cheap van, a bus, who knows? Mm-hmm. So I think it's a lot more relatable. It's not like we bought some crazy expensive camper van and we're living out of it.
Yeah. It's a rinkety-dink old bus.
Right.
That it's got some character. Right. But yeah, I think that obviously we don't have like a huge budget to start out to like just build out some insane looking bus. Right. And I think there's definitely videos on YouTube where you can find these people converting a bus from 0 to 100 and you're like, wow, that's nicer than my apartment.
Yeah.
And
Right.
That's not the short bus.
Right. I think those videos are cool, but I don't know. I don't know how relatable that really is. That's certainly not something that I could do. I mean, I don't have the skills myself to be able to go in and make some of these buses that look just incredible. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it pushed my limit, but putting down the flooring and making the mattresses and doing the mattress sheets and coverings and all that kind of stuff building the table. I mean, that kind of stuff that I did in there. Not that it's like my max, but it's it's coming close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people have enough time and money to do it. So I think it becomes a little more realistic, attainable. It's, something that you could do. Mm-hmm. Honestly, being if you're like 30 and over, probably the most unrealistic part of it is having 3 friends that you actually
having 3 friends?
Having 3 friends.
In general?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 friends that could all get together and go fish at the same time.
I'm really looking forward to 30.
Plus, you.
Yeah.
So having 4 grown people's schedules line up is honestly, I think, probably the most unrealistic thing in that entire show.
Yeah. I think people, I don't know, maybe from one of the things that might draw people is too, it's like this, like we're all buddies that we fish anyways, like even if we weren't filming.
Right.
So I think it's almost like we're filming and it's like, this is our crew. This is our tribe, like our fishing crew and like the fishing boys. And, and I think people can relate to that because everyone else has their fishing buddies.
Right.
And so they're like, oh my gosh, like I can think about doing this with my other buddies or whatever.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Maybe share it to them. And maybe that's how there's been a lot more shares and whatnot.
Is there a way that can you track like how many times the link was sent to someone? Is that like, can you see that?
Let me see here.
I don't know if that's something that you could I'd be curious how many people shared it with a friend, like to get to those kind of,
I'll just click on like one of the episodes.
Those kind of views.
All right. Yeah. So like, for example, I think the second episode, the one that got the most views, like 352 shares on a text message, 224 copy to clipboard. So someone's probably copying, sending it to someone. There's some email in there. So yeah, 800 total shares for that video alone.
Okay.
And that's,
So then, of course, hopefully those people then went and clicked on, the other episodes or whatever too, if they were interested.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think that shows that it's definitely like relatable, like, maybe they're sharing it like, oh, this is cool, but maybe they're also sharing it like, oh, we could do this.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the hope. But I think you made a great point that I think a big difference between what we're doing, especially with like something like Short Bus. Obviously, we have other things that we do, like some of the marketing and promotional stuff is much more high quality, and we have more of a purpose for that. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the reasons that it has been popular is that, from what you said, we would be doing this whether we were filming it or not. I mean, that's stuff that we've done. I mean, Steven and I have bought, rafts off Craigslist and used them for a weekend and then sold them. Mm-hmm. Like, we've done some just kind of stuff like this before.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a really old, like, 89 Cutlass that we did a fishing trip in, right? And then we just sold it.
Yeah.
Like, we've done some stuff like this before.
Like the raft stories.
Like the rafts and, wheeling and dealing on Craigslist on a fishing trip.
In Montana.
That's stuff that, we've done in the past, we never filmed any of that. It would have made a great film, thinking back on it.
Yeah.
We should have done it, but I think that's a big thing that sets us apart too. Is it's not like we didn't say like, well, let's buy the short bus and make a film out of it. I mean, this is something that we would have done anyways.
Yeah.
We just happened to carry you guys along.
Yeah.
And we filmed it.
We're like, wait, we could make a video. That could be fun.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. What do you think, since you did most of the build so far, like, what do you think has been the most challenging part for you with doing that? And do you think going forward, it's going to help if maybe more of us are involved? Because, it's obviously tricky, us being on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
And the bus being here in Salt Lake.
I guess the first thing that I would say is everyone keeps saying like, oh, remove the governor. Oh, it's probably governed to 55 miles an hour. No, it's not. It absolutely isn't. I've looked, I've checked. The bus is not governed to 55.
Yeah.
Because it can go 60. If you're going down a hill and you floor it, it will go 60.
I hit 70.
Yeah. I mean,
I slowed down quick, but I hit 70.
Like, I mean, it does go faster. I'm not saying like in the video, I say like, oh, it doesn't go over 55. I mean, like, if you're just driving normal without literally putting the pedal to the metal and you're just driving it, it won't go, really doesn't want to go over 55. So, I mean, one of the biggest challenge that we have at this point is the bus is too, I mean, we're literally unable to drive it to much further than where we really have gone at this point. Mm-hmm. As far as the build goes, I mean, it would have been nice to have like one other set of hands to help with some of the like building the table, building the bed kind of stuff. But I mean, there's not much more help that I could have had for the initial build for what we did. One other person. I mean, you couldn't have 3 people working on the bus at the same time. Like, or 4 people. It wouldn't really. The other person would end up doing nothing but drinking margs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that happened, but.
I mean, there's not as much like. I mean, I think the biggest issue that we have at the point is just the bus isn't for how cheap it was.
Yeah.
I mean, and everything. I mean, it's just not feasible to fix some of the issues, and it's too slow and just unrealistic to be able to go a lot further than Montana with it. Mm-hmm. So some of you guys that are like, come to, I don't know. I mean, we've gotten some people, like, hey, come to Florida, do a saltwater trip.
Come to the Midwest.
Come to the Midwest.
Come to the East Coast.
How?
Yeah.
I mean, it would take me a month to drive that stupid bus to dang, like the New England. Like, it would just be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. As much as we'd want to, it's just like unrealistic at this point. At least maybe with this bus.
Yes, with this bus. I mean, you have to. So whatever we do has to be a lot more local than you'll localize to like the couple states around here.
So that's definitely one of the biggest challenges. Is like it's kind of limiting where we can go.
Yes,
at this point,
very much so. And there's nothing we can really do to fix it.
And with having to travel with the truck, that's another challenge. We had to bring the truck. Like the whole idea of it is having all of us in the bus together,
right?
Traveling. Hanging out on the bus.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, we could have done both of those trips without the truck, but it would have been just a logistical nightmare.
Yeah. Like the first place we went, dropping the boats in.
Honestly, I don't know if we could have done that. We would have had to carry them an extra mile. Like, I mean, you would have had to carry them a lot longer than that. Plus, I mean, it wouldn't have started that morning.
Yeah, it's too cold.
It was too cold.
That's another challenge.
So that's another challenge.
The engine and everything. So yeah, I guess the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is like, what are some of the shortcomings for the series? And I guess talking specifically, maybe we can talk overall, like first volume and the last series. But what were some of the shortcomings just in terms of marketing, presentation, maybe overall involvement?
I mean, I guess the biggest shortcomings that I could think of would be that we bought some stuff and we had a lot of really good ideas for how to modify the bus between 1 and 2, and not that much of it got done. Yeah. We did a couple of little things that really fixed a lot of our griefs about living in the bus, but we definitely had, I mean, we built a shower that we never got to install. And we had the awning that we never got to install. Right. So some of that was that, I was a little, crunch for time with just having myself trying to put all that together. And I couldn't put the awning on by myself. I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So as far as a shortcoming goes, I would say definitely we have a lot of ideas for what we could do to the bus. We just we never had the time to be able to actually get them done.
Yeah, it's just like executing on some of these build out ideas. Yeah. And I think part of that is us showing up obviously like only a day before and like having half a day to get it prepped.
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't even remotely enough time.
Yeah, we need to be there like at least 2 days before.
Right.
To prep. What about on kind of a, you know, just us like marketing it or us putting out the video? What do you think are maybe some shortcomings that you can, like, if you think about the whole series, and like at least one of the things I think about is I want in the future to be able to put these out like once a week. So like when we shoot it and have it edited and like have one roll out every single week. And I think that was partially my fall schedule just got so crammed. I just kind of tried to book too much into one time.
Right.
And then in turn wasn't able to maybe give my full attention on the episodes for like if I wanted to get them out every single week. So they kind of were spaced out a little bit over like 2 months.
I mean, I don't think that's as big of a deal. I mean,
it's not the worst thing in the world, but I think
yeah,
you want to keep like people's attention. They see the first episode and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next one. And if they know that it's coming out the next week on that next Sunday,
right?
Then and you tell them it's coming out that next Sunday, then they're like already gonna come back. Where I think the not having like a set date for the next one, they're like, when's the next one gonna come out?
Yeah,
and then random.
Oh, that's true.
So I would say that's definitely a shortcoming.
Maybe one of the shortcomings is it's still a little surprising to me how few followers there are on the Short Bus Instagram. Like, I would think a lot more people would have watched the video and then seen it on Instagram, because I think we've posted some cool stuff on our Instagram page. Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as behind the scenes things, like pictures, some of the really funny clips that we took from our fishing or whatever, that like
bloopers,
the blooper reels that like we couldn't post. You couldn't work into the movie because it just didn't work for whatever reason. But I think it's interesting that not very many people have followed the YouTube channel, because how many followers do we have on YouTube? The Instagram.
I mean, we've got like 3,000 which is pretty good for. I think we need to be more consistent on there, and like
maybe that's true, but definitely pushing people. I don't know, 3,000 people. I mean, I don't think there's very many people that use YouTube that don't use Instagram, right? Like if you're on YouTube watching videos, you almost certainly have an Instagram.
Yeah,
I would think
most of the time.
So for how many views? I guess if you combine all of the Short Bus views together, or what one has the most, it's almost 200,000. Views on the best video,
the most popular one. Yeah,
and you only have 3,000 of those people went to Instagram. I think that's a pretty poor conversion rate.
Maybe
it's not. I don't know what the industry
maybe that's
is.
on us. Maybe it's like we need to promote that.
I would say somewhere maybe in a video, maybe at the end of a video, at the beginning of a video, you put the Instagram link. You say hey, if you want, at the very end, like when you're finishing a video, hey, do you want more, you want more Short Bus Diaries?
Yeah, you want more behind the scenes.
Hop on Instagram. We're constantly posting stuff, and while we were there, we were posting a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you had been following us when we were doing Volume 2, we were posting a lot of cool stuff. And maybe we didn't get the word out enough that we were doing that. And I know we've never done any like promotions or anything like that. Well, no, it just seems a little low to have 200,000 people that you almost are certain would have both platforms, would hopefully want some more, because for how many of you have said, more short bus stuff? You would think there would be enough people, more than 3,000 people, to want more of it.
Right.
Maybe that. I mean, but then again, maybe the Instagram's just not as important, and I mean, it doesn't really benefit us in any way. I don't really suppose, other than keeping people somewhat interested. But I think it would be really cool if I was following the Short Bus Diaries from the outside and wasn't just in it. I might want to see some of the background, some of the stories that don't get posted, some of the footage that doesn't make it to the videos. Some of the blooper reels, and and then be able to follow along in real time when we're actually on a trip. Because I know you and Steven were both consistently posting Short Bus stories, and things like that while we were there. But that somewhat brings up another point. I mean, kind of talked a little bit about other social media. Would it be worth ever having like a short bus Snapchat account that I guess essentially would end up being dormant most of the year until I don't really know how Snapchat works specifically, but
never answer our group.
No,
you see them.
I just sometimes see them. Maybe if I end up logging on before they get deleted or something or time out. I don't know if that even happens, but
yeah, Snapchat. I mean, I don't know. I've made like a Wildfly Snapchat in the past, and I've kind of used it, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like one that would.
Maybe I'm old, but I would never see something on Snapchat and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do that."
Yeah, I think for the Instagram like we need to be more active on there and like have more of a game plan of.
Yeah, maybe that's the word. Is just have an Instagram game plan for what we're going to do, either monthly, weekly, every other week. Let's have an Instagram post and update some people. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, is it even worth putting the time into trying to continue to grow the Instagram past where it's at?
Yeah.
And what does it really bring? It doesn't help us at all, I don't think. I think it just helps the people that follow us along.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an outlet maybe for people who are fans of it or really enjoy the series that maybe want to see a little bit more into the behind the scenes, into like what's going on outside of the production.
Oh, 100% makes sense to me to have it.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing. Like, we don't have to have some crazy game plan or crazy strategy for it. I think it's just us posting stuff that's happening, updates.
Yeah.
Like when we're on a trip, like posting, hey, like we've talked about for this next trip, we want to do some sort of meetup. Yeah. And so kind of that being our way to communicate with the audience.
Right.
Not only through Wildfly, but through,
Short Bus Diaries, a direct Blue Line Co. way to connect to the people that are interested in it.
Right.
Which I think is cool. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we just need to figure out some other way to convert people. Because I don't think you could put it at the end of Volume 3. Because I think so many people are going to miss out on some cool stuff while we're like some footage of while we're filming Volume 2. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the best game plan is to put a plug at the end of Volume 3 and say, hey, did you like this video? Go follow us on Instagram.
Like at the end of each episode, there should be some sort of...
Right.
It's like consistent. Like maybe there's the ending. Maybe there's like a little teaser for the next one. And then there's like...
And then...
hey, for more, follow us.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
You want to see more of this. But the people who would enjoy that, how do we get them on our Instagram page before Volume 3?
Yeah. I mean, I think utilizing our platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I guess pushing people to it from Blue Line, from Wildfly.
Podcasts, maybe
this podcast.
Other Wildfly videos. Go follow Short Bus Diaries on Instagram if you haven't already. Quick plug.
Yeah, so maybe that's something that we need to talk about a little more and kind of game plan on.
Yeah, I think another thing to that we can improve on going forward is kind of, I felt like it was so rushed when we were there because we were so focused on the fishing, and which is great. We're out there in these epic places. We're like, we want to fish, but maybe having budgeting in a few days there where we can kind of maybe not go really hard on the fishing. Maybe one day we're like, all right, let's hang out. Let's go check out town. Let's talk. Like, where are we at right now in the production? Like, what shots do we need to get? Kind of looking more so at the story overall.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I felt like when I came back, it was like, oh, how was your vacation? It's like, that was not a vacation. Yeah. Like, that was the furthest thing from a vacation I've ever had. Like, that was constantly like wired up, worried, stressed, trying to figure things out. Like, in no way was that, I'm not saying it wasn't fun.
Yeah, like it was fun, but
it was the least relaxing fishing trip that I've ever been on.
Getting up super early, going to bed later.
Right.
Just dead tired.
Absolutely grinding. Yeah, I think you're right. I think in some of that just comes down to maybe having a better game plan of what shots do we need and how do we get the shots. And then at the end of the day, reviewing the shots and then having a better game plan for the next day instead of fishing all day trying to say, okay, great, we need these shots here and there, but let's maybe fish for a half day. Let's go do this float instead of, let's take out a boat ramp earlier next time, or whatever. Or I think it would be nice to have a day of maybe even not fishing. If we have, if the fishing's been good, we've been getting pretty good footage, maybe we have, even a couple of days where we don't fish throughout the entire episode. Because it's obvious, I think a lot of people have really enjoyed the bus life, whatever, the hanging out in the bus, the cooking, the hanging out. I felt like a lot of the cooking stuff, we had these ideas to do these cooking episodes as well, which, the After Hours series, and we just didn't have a lot of time to do those. So instead of helping you with any sort of footage stuff, poor Steven was just left trying to clean the bus up.
Oh my God.
And being like the sous chef, just throwing me ingredients out the window of the bus while I'm trying to cook this thing while you're trying to film. But
dumping footage.
You should be dumping footage.
Yeah.
And Bryant's just hanging out when he's there. Like, I feel like we definitely need more of a game plan so that we can say, okay, we are going to film this cooking episode tonight. We've got to get off the water at a reasonable hour.
Yeah.
We cannot be rolling into the boat ramp at night.
Yeah.
And like with our headlamps like we normally do.
It's so hard because you get so dialed into the fishing
I know.
out there that it just, you're so focused on it and you're like, all right, keep fishing. Last cast kind of scenario,
There's the evening caddis hatch. Like, we got to go hit that.
Yeah,
we can't miss the caddis hatch.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it's, you're like taking advantage of your time out there. But then also you got to add in like, all right, there's stakes. Like, you are producing this series, and there's sponsors involved, and there's the YouTube audience also involved, who, like, these people who are anticipating something. So just spending some more time on the production itself, and
I feel like that
planning.
would be a good play for the next one.
Yeah.
Calming down on the fishing as much as it hurts.
We'll fish hard, but like,
we've got to have a couple days to not fish.
And maybe there's some other stuff we can do that can be fun on the trip, No?
What?
Not fishing? No, maybe not.
No, I can't think of anything.
All right, never mind, Scotty. Why would you ever say that?
I mean, it could be fun. But that's one thing that obviously, I mean, we never would have known until we made this series, was how much people liked the bus life and not just the fishing. Because we've gotten a ton of comments, both directly to, my account, your account, or to, the YouTube channel, saying like, oh, this is the only fishing series that I could ever get, my wife to watch with me.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, my significant other will never watch fishing videos with me, but they're actually asking me if there's another Short Bus episode out yet.
Yeah.
So
right.
like, I think that's kind of cool that it's not just, I think knowing our audience a little better at this point is big, because we obviously know the fishing stuff, as important as it is. And I mean, we wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for fishing, but also knowing that people really do appreciate, the bus stuff, driving the bus, hanging out at the bus. I mean, not that that's what the video is just going to turn into, but I think definitely a lot more funny stuff, fun stuff that we could do that's not fishing, to try to integrate into it, but then also have bomb ass fishing footage with it.
Right.
I think is really the trick.
I think that kind of plays into the whole ethos of like
Big
the
word.
series.
Big word there. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And just of kind of what we are, like what we enjoy so much about the fishing part of it, or just the fishing trips.
Right.
And we really enjoy, like, it's not, we really enjoy that time of us getting to hang out, shoot the shit, cook, sit around the campfire, drink beer.
Yeah. There definitely was not enough time to relax and hang out.
Exactly. And I think that's the moments that you like really look forward to on those trips. The fishing is so much fun.
Right.
But then it's always the best. You get back to camp, you can relax.
Yeah.
You can relax at the bus. You've got this little home.
Oh, and I have thought multiple times, like, I wonder if the video suffered at all because of how sleep deprived that we were on that trip. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe not. But heck, maybe it even made it better.
Shout out to our cowboy coffee that we made.
Yeah.
Maybe that was their downfall. We forgot our coffee maker the first couple days.
Yeah.
In the forest.
Yeah, I definitely think that would be a huge play for the next one, is we have more time that we can sit, game plan, try to, not that any of these videos are ever scripted or, we don't really script a lot of this, but we do say, okay, well, I know this area is really cool. This would be cool to have a big scenic shot of, me fishing this run if you were over here, right? We don't script any of the series, but sometimes, we say, okay, we do want to do this cooking episode and we're going to cook this.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Obviously you have to get pre-game some of it. So I think maybe having a little more time for some of those extra things that we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And I know, especially Steven and I aren't, we're more used to it now, but when he and I used to do these trips, it was never, hang out. Like there was none of the editing and producing portion of any of it.
Yeah.
It was fishing or not fishing.
Yeah.
And not fishing was mostly just sitting at the campfire and then all of a sudden crashing and going to sleep and then waking up the next morning. There weren't a lot of other things that you had to do, which that was a little different, going on the, starting to hang out with you a few years back, seeing what all went into what you had to do when we were there, more than just filming, more than just sitting in the back of the boat, being prepared to say, okay, here, drop me off on this bank. I'm going to run down here real quick and watch you guys come around this corner or something.
Yeah.
And, seeing how much more you had to do even at night.
Yeah. Like charge batteries.
I didn't
dump cards.
None of that stuff crossed my mind ever.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. Because me and Steven, we would always go, like, our game plan would just be go back to the bus, crash, go to sleep, wake up the next morning. It wasn't like go back to the bus, freaking look at your computer for 2 hours and do whatever it is that you do.
Yeah,
and then,
exactly.
And then go to sleep. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think also some of the shots that we need to get, like planning out. All right, we're heading to a new location. All right, so we need to stop off here. We need to get it. There's a really cool pass that we're coming up to. All right, let's make sure we get a good drone shot of that. Like we need a wide angle. We're traveling. We need to kind of get that transition shot from one scene to the next location.
Right.
Or maybe it's like we're floating down the river. I think a lot of times I almost had like missing puzzle pieces when I was editing because we were just go with the fishing. We had a lot of GoPro footage from the back of the boat, which is great because we're trying to get the hook set and all that. But a lot of times we would miss out on maybe, hey, let's stop here. This is a really sick looking run.
Yeah.
Let's just get you guys drifting by. We needed a wide angle.
Right.
Kind of add some more variety to some of like the shots. I think that's another thing that I definitely, going into the next one want to focus on.
A little more variety. I know you kept saying, because it's the same shot, I guess, over and over if you just film from the back of the boat. Like what can, other than the scenery, you're just on a different piece of the river or whatever. Different river, different piece of the river. And, needing a lot more different angles to keep it interesting and things like that. Definitely, I think getting out of the boat a little more, filming the boat, either fishing a run, filming the boat, stopping out, getting out and wading different holes that we know are good, things like that would be good. Or just going on a couple more wading days. Yeah,
adding in some wading days and like we talked about, just some variety with the trips.
I think we've kind of been talking a little bit about like the challenge videos. I got a pretty decent response of the day that like me and Steven went and floated the Madison, where you and Bryant went and did a wading day. I think there could be some fun like challenge things. Like maybe me and you get in a fight with Bryant and Steven and win. No.
Obviously win.
Maybe me and you get in a fight with Bryant and Steven and they're like, well, we could outfish you on X one day. Well, no you couldn't. And then maybe we have the two guys split up,
Like we could have say you and I in one boat,
right.
B and Steve in the other boat. And we'd be like, all right, guys, like today, like it could be a fun, friendly competition. Like we're gonna see who can catch the biggest fish.
Right.
And that's the challenge for the day. Like it's you guys versus us.
Right. And then put something at stake.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to do something. Yeah. Or
it's for a case of beer or something. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, I definitely, I thought that whole portion of that, I can't remember what episode that was, but where you and Bryant were doing this, and then me and Steven were doing this, and it kind of cut back and forth throughout the day. I think that was a really cool thing that you don't get to see in fly. That never happens in fly fishing videos, right? It's never like, oh, here's this whole group of people. Some are doing this, some are doing this day, and you kind of jump back and forth like a TV show.
Yeah, it's like a TV show.
Like I thought that part was so cool that we did that. So I think more of those kind of things. Maybe maybe one crew does a float. I'm on the float crew, by the way. And then one crew, goes and hikes into some mountain stream or lake or because I'm not fishing a lake or whatever. Maybe. I might watch you fish a lake. That might be even more.
You can carry the beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't get any if I carry it, but sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that was cool. I would love to see more of that style.
Dude, that was actually a tricky day to edit because I really
because me and Steven didn't film anything.
No, well, that was the last episode. I actually really like how the last episode turned out, but it was really challenging because I just kind of gave you guys the GoPros. It's like, all right, just film some stuff. Like I didn't tell you.
Please film something.
I was like, oh God, I hope they get something. And then of course they get all these gems like the ginger lemon basil review. I just opened the computer and I get back, I'm just dying, dude. I'm like, what are they doing? But I loved that. So like, but that was a challenge because it's like you guys had, you were just filming whatever. And I wasn't there to like direct like how I want it shot, and it turned out great. Obviously.
Oh, I think it was. It's probably one of my favorite episodes of any of the short bus that's come out. Mm-hmm. Having been there, I understand it might not be the viewer's favorite.
That was like our least successful day too, which is so funny.
I hooked so many fish that day.
Yeah, you did.
Just couldn't land them.
Yeah, and we just didn't get all those on film, so it's like hard to convey.
Right,
but
I did though. I
swear.
I swear. I did.
I swear I caught a 20-inch cut in that day, but we didn't get on film. So,
no, I mean it was a tough day. It was a tough day of fishing, but just personally, it was one of my favorites to see. So I'd like to see more something like that. Yeah, we split, but I'd put something more at stakes, like we said. I bet you that I could go catch more fish doing this than you could catch fish doing this. More or bigger, or I could catch this kind of fish, or
or maybe it's like we try to get like a slam that day.
Yeah,
like maybe that's the challenge. Like we're trying to get, or just I don't know, stuff that is not just the typical like, all right, we're just gonna go out today and fish,
right?
And just try to catch fish.
That definitely keeps it more fresh. I think it's something new. It's something different than what we've done.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can definitely brainstorm some things.
Yeah, there will certainly be wherever we do the next trips at. Mm-hmm. There will be something that we could go do that
like
would
something,
lend itself.
Maybe
to
we'll go into town and like there's more of like a, I don't know, more than just the fish that day fishing, because sometimes it's kind of tough to edit that day when it's just, or the days when it's just us fishing. Like there's obviously fun stuff that goes on.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like trying to keep that interesting.
Maybe Steven can have his Tinder. Can get on Tinder wherever we're at and try to hook more women on Tinder than fish that day.
We'll see how many Tinder dates Steven can get on the next Short Bus Diaries trip. We'll keep a tally in the bus.
If Steven can bring a Tinder date back to the bus.
Oh, gosh. I don't want to meet her. Yep. Well, there you go, Steve. There's your challenge.
There you go.
You're listening. That's great. Yeah. By the way, guys, I'm also typing. When we're doing stuff like this, I'd like to keep some notes just in case we forget something. Like I like to have some stuff on paper or not on paper.
You know that you have it recorded, right?
I do have it recorded. You're right.
If we forget something,
but I'm probably not going to go back and listen to this a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways. So something we touched on a little bit earlier was like audience. And so I think like really trying to understand our audience is going to be important, especially going forward. I mean, I feel like we have a pretty good grasp of our audience, but who do you think is like that core, like audience member? Like who is our audience?
I bet that we have
overall?
at least like 4 people whose name's Nick that watch this. Or like, I bet we have a couple James
James
that watch this.
Really?
Yeah.
You think James? Okay. What about? There's no Adams though.
There's probably a few.
There might be a few.
There might be a few Adams, Scotts, some things like, maybe
name.
even a few other Stevens watch this.
Yeah.
I feel like that helps to understand your audience, to just kind of, I don't know. No, I think you're right. Knowing who your audience is obviously big. Mm-hmm. I think we have a different, but I don't think our audience is that different from our other videos. Like, I don't think the people that watched the bass video or Northern Natives or Frozen Feathers, I don't really think that's a different viewer for any real reason than Short Bus would be.
Yeah.
I think Short Bus would probably appeal to more people than those other videos do. But as far as like who the audience is, I don't think it's very different. I think you might get some more people who like, yeah, I could get my spouse to watch this with me versus Northern Natives might just be them watching it,
Or maybe they're into just like travel or camping kind of deal. And they find like, oh, these guys got a
truck
bus,
camping,
and I think that's like, people like to see the process of stuff. They like to see, it's not just like a highlight reel. Like they like to see like, oh, they got a bus. Like what happens with the bus? Like how are they building it out?
Yeah.
Where are they going? What are they doing with it?
Wow, it looks bad.
Yeah, it looks so bad. I bet it smells so bad in there. That kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that's true because I think the Short Bus appeals to that, like it was we talked about earlier, like the overland audience as well. The camping, outdoor, whether you fish or not. I feel like it has a lot more kind of a lot more reach to some other circles and other industries. Because even if, say, like hunting industry is so much bigger than fishing industry, I feel like it could, some other people who maybe hunt could be interested in it. People who spin fish could be interested in it, not just fly fishing. Like it's not just a fly fishing interest piece.
Right.
Maybe even like you said, like rock climbers, mountain bikers might be interested in like having, might be interested in at least the theory and the Short Bus part of it. And then maybe they fast forward through the fly fishing stuff because it's not interesting to them.
Maybe we're just because we're not good anglers.
It could be that too.
It could be that too.
You get called out a lot on the internet. I'm not saying that I don't, but you do.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. You put yourself out there and.
But I think it's different because you're like trying to film and fish.
Yeah.
You're much better at fishing when you're not filming.
Yeah.
Which is why you always catch these fish and then you turn the GoPro on.
I know, of course. That's it's always the worst.
I'll be rowing. I'm like, Scotty, cast right over there. Nothing. Scotty, over there. And you're like back there messing with a GoPro on the back of the boat.
Trying to get the camera.
And then you finally get this like half-assed cast over there. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like that's almost helped me improve as an angler because it's like I go on fish without filming, obviously. Like I do that. And I really, yeah, you're right. I don't. I enjoy going out and fishing, but when I am filming and fishing, like for filming a project, your window for fishing is kind of shrunk, or it shrinks because you're obviously filming.
Right.
So when you make those casts, you're more deliberate and you're more intentional about each cast. And so I think, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to fish for 10 minutes for a little bit or something like that, you know, and you're really focused. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of helped my angling a little bit.
I'm sure it has. But that's definitely one thing is like you probably honestly end up seeing some of the worst fishing in the video.
Yeah.
When we're trying to film and fish at the same time.
Because if we went out there and just didn't film at all and we just got to fish the whole day, we would be potentially waylaying fish.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be different than what we're doing.
Yeah, it'd be different.
But
then you guys wouldn't be able to see what we're doing out there.
But then you wouldn't get to share it. What's the point of that?
All the people on the Ape tubes. Yeah,
my internet friends really like it.
My internet friends, man. I heard some recently. They're like someone on a podcast. They were talking about how on YouTube the audience feels like your boss. basically, if you think about it,
Yeah.
like your audience is depending on you to post.
Right.
And they want to see you post. And, you know, if you're not posting, like, they're probably going to stop watching you. And so it's like, I don't know, it's this almost this external pressure that comes in from your audience. That's like,
I get that.
I don't know, kind of an interesting analogy.
Yeah. Like, if you don't catch fish today, they're just not, you're just going to lose followers.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to go unsubscribe from your channel.
Don't give us a book. Yeah. I don't know what it's like to have a boss. Because I am
I am
my
the
own
boss.
So, okay, I guess the next thing is, you know, kind of what is kind of like the bigger picture, and what's kind of the bigger message that we as the Short Bus Diaries or in the series, like what are we trying to convey to people?
Long Bus Diaries. That's the bigger picture.
The Long Dong Diaries. Shut up, B. Pratt.
Honestly, I have no idea. You're always like, oh, we need a storyline. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm just producing this. You can direct it or whatever. I'm just going to produce. I'm just going to
fishing, drinking beer.
We got this. I know where we're going to go, you know, cause I'm kind of always the one that figures out the trip and the route and the plan and where we're fishing and all that stuff and what we're going to do. So I don't know. I'm just like, hey, this will be cool. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the overall message of the Short Bus Diaries is.
I think, well, one thing that like for me comes to mind is not taking yourself too seriously.
Oh, I don't do that.
Well, exactly. But I think that's a common thing that you see in fly fishing is people taking everything so seriously. Not things on social media, things in fly fishing, things that, you know, other people say or whatever. And I don't know, it's just I feel like we're trying to like convey to people like, hey, just get out, like find your group of buddies. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter where you are. You know, wherever you are, go find, you know, your crew and get out and just go have a good time. And I think that's maybe if we don't say that specifically, I feel like that's one of the common themes and one of the things that we all are like, I don't know, we all share, a common thing we share.
Right. I'm going to change my answer to what you said.
Okay. All right, let me type that.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said is true. I wouldn't have just put it into words, but yeah, I mean, that's absolutely, I mean, that is it. I mean, I think if you watch anything that we've done, you should know that we don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
I don't take anything seriously. But like, I mean, not that you're like going to order something for Blue Line and we're going to be like, oh, like just screwing off and not do our jobs. But I mean, nothing that we do is really that serious.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. I mean, it's like a fresher breath air that it's not like the super serious, intense video. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know. I would at least hope that more people laugh during a short bus video. It's just some of the stuff that we end up getting into more than any other fly fishing video. I would hope that it's at least somewhat funnier than any other fly fishing videos that you're watching, unless it's like Hank Patterson. But then,
we can't compete with him.
You can't compete. Nobody can. But that's less fishing and more funny than. Mm-hmm. It's more like watching a stand-up comedy that just happened on a river.
Yeah.
Versus like we kind of hopefully at least fuse the two of them together.
We're just filming the experience and like stuff that happens. It's not like you can't plan that.
Right.
Like some of your one-liners, they just come out of nowhere. Right. Hey Adam, what are we doing right now? Dude, fuck out of here.
I can't imagine how many like things that you tried to coax me to say that this didn't happen. You're like, okay, never mind.
Well, yeah. Again, like
I'm just gonna go shut
certain
up.
Times in the morning, you know, we're all tired.
Yeah.
I'm like, Adam, what's going on? You're just like, oh yeah, we just got up. We're about to hit the river or something. I'm like, all right, dude.
Trying to
film
today.
here.
I'm trying to get your butt out on this river to fish.
Yeah. Like, dude, you know what we're doing. I'm like, no, dude, it's for the video.
Adam, what are you doing? Shut the fuck up.
I mean, there's certain times when you're just like, all right, I just don't film it right now. But
yeah, but maybe that's, you know, some of the difference is like, I feel like we kind of wanted to make a different style, a different kind of video than than a lot of the other videos that I've seen online. I mean, I watch a lot of fishing films and mostly old stuff. I honestly don't really know what YouTube's doing, other than like I'll watch our videos usually like once, and then I'm like, oh, I was there. Oh yeah, cool.
I love the text from you that I get. You're like, video is great. Looks good.
The video looked good.
I'm like, is that it? Like, obviously I know you enjoyed it, but it's just funny. He's like, yep, good job, dude.
Yeah, dude, video is good.
It's great. It's humbling, dude.
I'm kind of old school because I've seen like I've seen so much stuff off of YouTube. Mm-hmm. My problem is I can never figure out how to cut through the crap on YouTube, and I always get too mad if I end up clicking on something that is just awful, and I can't figure out how. Like, I can't find something good.
Yeah,
there's too much on YouTube for me to wade through. But I watch a lot of other media fly fishing outlets. Mm-hmm. Essentially everything but YouTube.
Okay, good, sweet. So,
well,
should we talk about YouTube?
Yeah. Hold on, where do we put these podcasts up again?
Yeah, I don't know, Spotify or something like that.
Spotify? Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
Apple Music?
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett's on Spotify, so I know all about it.
Okay, yep, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah.
No, but I guess going back to it, you know, I guess something that at least that we have right now is like not taking yourself too seriously, getting your crew, having a good time. Like you said, kind of being like almost like disruptive in the media, fly fishing media world in a way.
Yeah. It's definitely a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're necessarily
not disruptive, but it's like it's just different.
Yeah. Maybe like a breath of fresh air from people that have seen just so many videos that just aren't really applicable to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how many videos have you ever seen? Like, I feel like anytime you go to one of those F3T or the IF4s, it's always like some mega ultra trip that, you know, obviously would cost you just a ton of money to go do. Mm-hmm. And there's like, you get through watching it and you're like, wow, that was cool. And that was an awesome thing that you just showed me that I'll never get to do.
Right.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that was so cool. Thanks for bragging about how cool that trip was. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like, just about anyone who has a little bit of money could end up going and fishing in a different state. Could go to somewhere close to where we fished. You know, I think that's something that's cool about our videos versus, you know, what you see in these just epic, huge production videos. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're all real serious. I feel like there's not a lot of joking around, and you don't get very much. I feel like we do a good job of putting behind the scenes stuff into the movie.
Right.
That, like, I'm sure these other guys are doing funny stuff and joking on each other, doing, you know, whatever it is that we do. I'm sure they do that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they're not showing it in any of the film. It's more real, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a human element.
Yeah.
You know, like I think there's some really, really good films in the film tour, and like cinematically, like well shot.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
But yeah, there's a I don't know. I love just one of the big influences of mine is like Casey Neistat, who you probably may not know. But
are they on YouTube?
He's on YouTube, yes.
Oh, yeah,
but
I don't know who that is.
I love just when he used to like vlog he did daily vlogs, but he would make the most mundane things like interesting. And it was so real. It wasn't like super well produced. Like, he had good editing, but it was definitely kind of, you know, it wasn't like a big cinematic film. And there was a human element to it. He showed the mess ups. He showed him like falling off his skateboard and stuff like that. So I think
he was skateboarding while he was fishing?
No, he doesn't fish.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Crazy, right? Yeah.
Huh?
But yeah, like showing some of the behind the scenes stuff, I think that it's kind of fun to, I don't know, I love adding that kind of stuff. And, you know, when something breaks or something messes up, you know, that happens. Like, you don't need to cut it out of the film always.
Right.
Always.
Sometimes you do.
A lot of times you do. Trust me.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
So what would you say, kind of looking back at the series, from, I guess, from like a viewer standpoint, what would you say is like your favorite part about the series? Favorite aspect, maybe favorite, like,
It's been a long time since I've watched the videos, and I wish I would have rewatched them before you asked me this question, because I don't really know. What was yours? What was your favorite aspect of the video? Yeah, because it may or may not end up being mine.
It's so tough because
every time I watch it, I don't really get to see it. I don't think I see it like people who watch it on YouTube see it, because I just remember how fun it was.
Yeah.
Like, my aspect is just the memory of going and doing it, and how mad I was at you or Steven and for something, or whatever. I don't remember. I'm not like watching it being like, oh man, I really loved that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I said earlier that my favorite episode was at least when we did the duel thing, when you were waiting and we were floating. But when I watch it, I don't know if I can answer the question, because when I watch it, it's just, oh wow, I remember that. Oh yeah, that day was. Like, I always end up remembering so much more than what's in the video. I'm always, oh, did that make it in the video? Like, oh no, oh, he had to cut that part out because Steven wasn't very nice to somebody. I don't know, whatever. But that's kind of when I watch it. That's what I end up taking away from it.
Yeah.
Isn't probably anything near what someone who watches it at home might take away.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to understand it from like the viewer's standpoint. So like going forward, like how can we improve on this, or what worked for, like what was it's hard when you're in it because you're not the audience. I'm just trying to figure out, what people love the most about it, and like how we can capitalize on that, going forward. I guess to flip that question, like for what would be maybe your favorite part about the trip, or the trips, I should say, since we've done 2.
My favorite time in either trip was actually getting the bus to wherever our next thing was. Like, because I'm just, the bus isn't great. I get like super worked up, super nervous. I'm like, oh God, I hope the freaking bus makes it to wherever, I'm like just sitting there dreading, right? That whole day when I'm waiting for US or UPS to show up with our rods, when I had to wait and left way later than y'all did. The whole day I'm sitting there like, oh God, don't call me, right? Like, I don't want to see a freaking phone call from Scotty or Steven show up on my phone.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like super anxious and just like, I'm sure you don't get any of that when you watch the film, but I'm like, I don't get stressed out. And that like really, really gets me worked up.
Dude, I bet.
And so once we actually got to, because I mean, nothing against you, nothing against Steven. I know that it's going to be on me to try to figure out how to get this bus going again out of whatever problem that it has. And like, it still hasn't happened, which I have no idea how the bus has not broken on us while we're driving it.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite part of any of it is being able to say, we got to wherever it's going to be parked. At this point, I don't care if something breaks, you can just leave it there. Yeah. We'll get a rental car, we'll drive the truck, we will just go back to Salt Lake, and there's just a free bus sitting somewhere on the side of the road in Idaho. Have at it.
Go for it.
To me, that's my favorite entire part of any of the bus trips that we did. Getting up to Idaho, getting up to where we fished the first day, the second day, the first, second, and third places in Montana. Those were my favorite days. Is actually getting the bus to wherever it was going to be for the next portion, and then like it was like a huge pressure release valve off of me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yep, that's always what we're worried about. Things keep us up at night.
Because I know that we're going to be able to make the movie. We're going to be able to get shots. We're going to be able to catch fish. We're going to be able, like I know the rest of it can come together just if you put the 3 of us or 4 of us in the right place.
Yeah,
we're going to be able to make a movie that people like, or some videos that people like.
Yeah,
but getting there is the problem.
Yeah.
So that's probably my least favorite part of the entire thing. And then once I'm there, I'm like, oh, thank God that's over.
We're good.
Not catching bull trout was my favorite part.
Oh, yeah. You didn't catch a bull? You got a bull trout.
I mean, like,
no, yeah,
no, not really.
No, we didn't. We didn't even. I didn't sniff a bull trout on that trip.
No,
not even close.
not like freaking Canada.
No, oh my gosh,
it was nothing similar.
All my bull trout juju is gone, dude. Used on one trip.
Yeah, we used it up.
So one thing I wanted to hear from, kind of just talk through is like the structure of the videos. Because, we have obviously like the intro, which is like a teaser into the episode. Then it goes into the intro that we do. And then it's like into the episode. And then the closing's like close, like the end of the video. And then maybe a cliffhanger into the next episode. What'd you think about, watching those? Like, did that keep you engaged? Like having the intro and like maybe how can we like grab people's attention maybe more in like that first couple seconds,
When I watch a video, none of that stuff runs through my head. I'm probably more like the viewers in that aspect, that like, I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh, we got the intro. Oh, now we're getting into the, whatever. But yeah, maybe like, I don't know. It always sucks though when you see a movie trailer that's like the funniest parts of the entire movie were in the movie trailer, so you've already seen them. Yeah. So you don't exactly want to do that, I guess, but
yeah, it's tricky. It's like finding those moments that you're kind of giving a tease into what's the episode's going to be like,
right?
But you don't want to give it away,
right?
Fully, and that's tough when it's not planned.
Maybe you need to get enough people that have watched the Short Bus Diaries that know it's going to be good, so that you don't have to do that.
Okay,
they're just going to watch the entire episode,
100% retention rate,
trusting that it's going to be good. Because it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I'm looking at like my retention graph right now. In like the first episode is pretty good. I think we have like 50% finish rate, like 50% retention. But you see from like the start, the first episode is different because the
first episode like was a little slow because we're trying like you have to set the rest of the episodes wouldn't make sense without the first one.
Yeah.
So like you have to have the first one. Mm-hmm. It can't be like the first season of, your favorite TV show or something, which is like, could be really funny. It's just all the build up and all the stuff that you got to get through to be able to get to episode 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. But the structure of the video is always like super important.
Yeah, sure.
And you want to keep it consistent. That's one of the things too with a series like that. You want it consistent. And you always want, there's something like at the end that you're like watching too. Because obviously for YouTube, we want people to watch to the end. Yeah, want to see the whole video. So, yeah, no, I think we're doing a good job, but capitalizing on that intro and really making it like, pulling the audience in right away. What's going to happen? I want to know the rest. One of the next things I think that would be good to talk about is like our sponsor integration and like our collaboration with the sponsors. Yeah, and maybe how we could have maybe improved on that. Like what can we do better maybe going forward? And like for me at least, one of the first things that comes to mind is like when we are working with a sponsor for like, say like plugging something, like plugging their product, or we want to send someone to their website because we truly like do believe in their product because that's why we're working with them. Right. Maybe coming up with, a better way to integrate that. Into
something
video.
A little more. Something that doesn't feel, it's more natural. It doesn't feel like you paused the video to talk about a sponsor to go back into it. Yeah. It'd be great the more you could do that, but I think people also at least should realize that like we have to have sponsors. Like if they want to watch a video like this, they might have to sit through a sponsor. They didn't pay a dime to get on YouTube to watch the video. Yeah. You should have to listen to what I at least say about a sponsor. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little torn. Like people probably don't think that, but I would at least like maybe hope that people could at least understand the fact that like we can't do this without sponsors. Mm-hmm. Like we cannot, be able to do a lot of the stuff that we do on the Short Bus Diaries without some help from our sponsors. So
yeah. And it's also not like we're selling like a spatula or a waffle maker.
Yeah,
it's not like what the heck are they?
Yeah, what the hell is that? It's like you made me stop watching a fishing video to
That waffle maker on the bus might not be a bad idea.
Oh, shit. Hey,
But-
if you own a waffle iron company, please reach out to us.
Yep.
Adam at bluelineflies.com. We're looking for new waffle sponsors as we speak.
There you go.
Breakfast, honestly, any sort of breakfast apparatus, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Reach out.
Yeah. We're open to anything. But I mean, we're working with fly fishing companies.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be great for viewers to be able to say, wrap in, oh, we liked this rod because it did this. I don't know. I don't exactly know how you integrate it. I honestly think we did a pretty good job. I don't think it's I don't think it's in your face, and I don't think it's blatantly like takes away from any of the video for what we did. Mm-hmm. It's like just in the middle of the action, we maybe paused for 1 second to say, hey, here's what we're using.
Yeah. I think people are also curious with the gear that we're using.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to hear it right then. Maybe they want to hear it at the end of the video, but I'm going to make you listen to it in the middle of the video for the sponsor.
Right.
But, it's always questions we get. It's never, I don't know, most people are interested in what we have, what we're using. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think as far as like what we could do, I mean, maybe that's just part of game planning a little more and saying, here's where we're going, here's what we're going to do, here's the shots that we need. How can we, here's the product that we need to plug. How can we plug this in? Here's a list of the shots that we need to get. Where does it fit best? So maybe you get it in the best fitting,
portion of the
shot
video
or something.
Yeah.
So it feels a lot less of a pause and go into something else, go into an ad. Like, I mean, how mad can people really be if on a podcast they have to listen to an ad?
Yeah, no.
Like, I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, you have to stop the video for a couple seconds, but heck, if you're on your iPhone, just double click it or whatever, jump 15 seconds forward, and then just keep watching the video. Mm-hmm. So,
I think you can make it really fun too. I think you can make a really interesting and like fun plug that's like, it's like, oh, that was actually entertaining. Like,
yeah,
we could do something silly, dude. Like where it's almost like a silly like commercial, but it's like, oh shoot, like that was actually good. Like I'm curious about this. Like having Steven, the bus opens, Steven walks out, like doing some
pair of waiters
or something, like doing some dumb shit. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, but I think that goes back to maybe like knowing what we need.
Yeah.
Somehow we don't have a waiter sponsor at this point or whatever, right? But like we need to figure out where are we going to plug this waiter in this video. Mm-hmm. And then sitting down and saying, okay, here are maybe the shots, and then kind of lining up, kind of arranging the puzzle together just in order so that we know, okay, we need to film this, and then we can put it, kind of wrap it into what we're doing. Yeah. That would work best on the river, at camp, putting them on. Where are we going to put our waiters on at this day? Just maybe planning out a little more.
Yep.
I think that just goes back to one of the first things we talked about, just dialing back the fishing and dialing up some of the production.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think going into maybe some of like more of the pre-production too.
Yes.
Like all of us getting on a Zoom call.
Right.
Maybe not just one, but maybe a couple. Like,
yeah.
We have our first stage. We're gonna just who are our sponsors, or
right.
What's the trip gonna look like? Yeah. Some more planning and preparing, I think, is big.
Yeah.
But I think we got some fun. I think we might have some good sponsor plugs coming up.
I think we should
in the year.
I think we do.
You guys watch out. Just we'll make sure we'll let you know if Steve's like doing something silly that you guys need to maybe skip through.
Hey guys, yo, just go ahead and skip the next 15 seconds of this video.
You do not want to see this. So yeah, I mean, I guess kind of closing out. What are maybe what's like the long-term vision for this? I think that's maybe good to consider.
I think the only problem with the short bus is it does have an expiration date, right? Mm-hmm. Like, as we mentioned a couple times, like there's eventually going to become a time when we've done pretty much the fisheries that we care to do, want to do, that fit with the program. Eventually we're going to run out of options to go fish. At least in the U.S.
Or maybe just it's the same thing but in a different location.
Right.
Like the concept of it.
Exactly. So I think eventually, and that's not as big of a list as you might imagine. You know, there's a lot for us. There's a lot of really awesome places that I've got to go smallmouth fish. But how many smallmouth trips can you really do to keep them new and interesting and all that stuff?
At least filming.
Yeah, filming it. So I think it at least has a expiration date. But I think there's a lot of other things that could come out of it, like the short boat diaries, like we've talked about. The a different we buy a cheap drift boat off KSL.
Yeah.
Or we keep with the same thing. We buy like the cheapest camper van that you can find. And maybe it's not an entire series and big thing like short buses. Maybe it's a video here, a video there.
Yeah.
Or maybe just a single, 4-part series that we did about a trip where we bought a cheap camper van. I don't know.
Just it might lead to another idea, but I think it's like a catalyst for what's to come. Like right now, this is like our main focus. Like this is a really big project we're working on, and that's our focus. And it's not like, oh, this is going to end anytime soon, but like we want.
It does. I mean, I think it does have an expiration date.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're going to grow old watching season, volume 40 of Short Bus Diaries. Like, it's not going to happen.
Oh my God.
Like, we're going to be, out of ideas, at least in the U.S., and we're not shipping the bus to Europe or something. So
we're gonna send the bus to Mars. Elon Musk is going to take the bus up to Mars, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the end.
But for real, though.
But Elon, if you happen to be listening, hit us
let's
up,
put the
dude.
bus on Mars. Yeah, we're putting the short bus to Mars.
All right, guys.
It really is the magic school bus.
It truly is.
But I mean, I think it's going to be the catalyst that kind of keeps us really kind of hopefully helps put us on the map for that kind of stuff. And then I think we're going to have a lot of different spin-off, similar ideas, but revamped maybe in the future. Mm-hmm. Like some of the things that people have really liked about this series, being able to just format that in a new, fresh way, down the road. And that doesn't particularly to me even mean that, the Short Bus Diaries isn't still going down the road when we decide to throw in something new and fresh.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, there's nothing
we've got other trips planned this year that aren't with the bus. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, we've got
really
plenty
fun and interesting trips.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have been talking for the past 2 days about awesome other trip ideas that have nothing to do with Short Bus Diaries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it's going to get stale for a while, and I think we have a lot of ideas, but I think it has an expiration date at some point that we're going to have to eventually say, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to go on to something else now.
What a sad day that will be.
I mean, how many videos can you show of people catching brown trout?
I know. Right?
There's too many of them already online.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't just keep going and catching brown trout just everywhere. Like, people just aren't going to keep watching that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, I could watch people catching smallmouth all day.
Well, but like, there we go. That's what we need to do again.
But I've only got like 2 trout videos a week.
Okay, so I think maybe like the last thing to close out would be fun to maybe talk about is maybe some of the biggest misconceptions that people may have about the bus in the series.
I like it. It's definitely not scripted. I've heard that a couple times. There's some comments or whatever. I mean, we don't write a script for any of it.
Yeah.
Like none of it.
I don't know how to write a script.
No. It's not like we're like, oh, Scotty's going to say this, and then Steven's going to rebuttal with this, and he's going to say, fuck you. Like, the script would be the dumbest thing on the planet if we ever tried to write it. But like, it's not scripted. Essentially, we just take an idea of let's go fish this area, and then we go fish it. Mm-hmm. A lot of spitballing, a lot of stuff, putting together goes into it. But once we're there, I mean, there's nothing it's no different than just if we were fishing. We just happen to have a camera on.
Yeah.
I think another misconception is I've heard people be like, oh, the bus looks nice. I don't know what it is, but it looks better in the videos Maybe it's just your nice camera.
Maybe it's just
because it
editing.
looks better in the videos than it does in real life. It's bad. It's bad, and I feel bad. Like for how junky and just old and rusted some of the stuff is on the bus, it's bad.
Yeah. It's not clean.
No.
It's not like a comfortable living.
No. It's not cozy. It's not like you. I mean, it's nice to sleep. Like my bed is comfortable at least, but like putting the four of us in a bus, just it's not relaxing.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's fun in a sense of the word fun. It's more fun than like getting your toenails pulled off, but like it's not like. It's definitely not my favorite fishing trip to do.
It look like we have fun. We have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
But it also, like with the video, you know, it's not showing everything. Like there's definitely times when we're like frustrated, like there's tensions high, pissed at Steven or something stupid.
Yep. There's times where you just got to go outside and just get away from
Take a
Steven
walk.
and I'm just going to take a walk. Got to get away from all of y'all for just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you just don't see. But I mean, what do you think? What misconceptions have you seen people reach out to you about or mention in, I guess, you know, the comment section or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I would say one thing that there's been like a few people comment about this, but people think that, and I think this would just be good to address, but people think that like we're using the derogatory term name of short bus as like
right, yeah.
to for some reason like put down like the use of that term,
right,
or like that group of, you know, people who ride the short bus or whatever.
Right.
That was never came up in conversation.
Nope.
Until we like posted the video and someone like commented and we didn't even think.
We're all like, huh?
Yeah.
What are you saying? No, what
Yeah.
are you saying now?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that'd be good to address. Like that's never been our intention. We've never
never
wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. It's literally our bus is short. Like that is
it legitimately is.
It legitimately is short.
A short bus.
Yeah.
And we made the diaries of it.
Yeah.
It's not. It has nothing to do with anything. And if you even click and watch the video, you will know that. I mean,
Right.
I guess if you want to get mad about something, then you don't click and watch the video, and you just want to be mad. Then cool.
Right.
But don't. I'm not changing the name of it. It's a short bus.
Yeah. And there's other stuff on YouTube, like people who have like short
Yeah,
buses.
short bus build outs, and also there's
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff that you see people have linked on short buses, like short bus blank, short bus camping, short bus whatever.
Right.
It's not like it's just us that did it. Yeah, that was crazy. I had no idea. I was just like, "Are you
Like,
really?"
Yeah. Exactly. And
I don't know.
I also feel like it's the perfect size for what we need it for. Like if the bus was too long, maybe
Right.
it wouldn't work for certain situations.
Right.
So like that size of bus is kind of like perfect for.
Yeah, if it was much smaller, if it was like one of the, like it couldn't be like transport van diaries, you know,
Yeah.
like it can't be much smaller than it is. But it definitely doesn't work if it's a full size bus because we couldn't get it into a lot of the parking spots, the boat ramps that we go to. I mean, you'd have to legitimately go to an RV park if it was bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a misconception. I feel like some people who might have, but it's not.
Yeah.
If you want to think that way, you can. But
yeah. I mean,
All right.
I've never forced anyone other than my wife to watch the Short Bus Diaries. And if you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it.
don't watch it. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. I wouldn't want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But by the time I'm done editing, I'm like, all right, screw this
All right,
video.
no,
Sucks.
I'm so done. I'm so done. Just put it out there so that they don't care.
It actually feels so good though. The first time like watching it back with no lag, like watching it back
Right.
after it's exported, and like while it's uploading, I'm like watching, I'm like, oh, I hope there's no mistakes. Hope there's no mistakes. But then I watch it, I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that was pretty good.
And then it really feels just so good when I tell you vid was good, and you're just like, yes,
GUD.
yeah, vid was
WZGUD.
That's all I'm sending you next video we put out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I think a lot of it probably seems pretty genuine. I don't think very many people would think that you have that many misconceptions. I don't think it's a very it's a very controversial or it's just us.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward.
Pretty obvious. It's straightforward what we're doing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of misconceptions that really could arise. Mm-hmm. Probably the biggest one I've seen is how scripted is this trip? Or how. Which if
it was scripted, I'd be like, wow, you guys are pretty good actors. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how we are. Hobo Steve legitimately is that ornery.
Yeah. That's what it's like to hang out with Hobo Steve.
Yep.
I think one of the things that this is just overall, but especially for this series, is sometimes I get, just I guess maybe the filmmaking side of me is thinking all right, what's the big picture? What's the story? Trying to maybe over romanticize over the story or over some big meaning when it, in reality, it's people just want to, it's just fun to show having a really good time going on this trip.
Yeah.
And getting to share that experience with others.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, what I want people to take out of it is watch it and just get stoked about getting outside with your buddies and going fishing or getting outside in general.
And possibly giving people an escape from whatever they were doing that day.
Yeah.
Because we definitely got a lot of comments oh man, I was looking forward to this all week. Give you something to...
Well, GoPro Dad.
Okay.
Sorry, keep going.
This gave me something to look forward to. I was really looking forward to watching the new episode all week. That, I feel like that means something. I mean, that means something to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know, I think that's kind of big. At least giving some people out there liking enough that they want to, they're actually looking forward to the next episode coming out. An escape from, giving people an escape from, whatever's going on. Give them 30 minutes. They're interested in something. They can sit down and watch the short bus episode. Watch the Short Bus Diaries. 4 times or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe like you said, some inspiration. Get out with your buddies. Do something similar. Mm-hmm. Buy a bus. Go do something kind of fun and crazy with your fishing buddies.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be super expensive. It doesn't have you don't have to buy a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van and have some $200,000 conversion kit on it to go, load your buddies up and something to go drive around and fish.
Right.
And we get a lot of people on Instagram too that post and tag us. I've seen a lot of, getting tagged in watching a short bus video while they're tying or something.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. Giving people something to do, I in no way do I mind that you put it on as background noise. I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Giving people something a little bit of an outlet of maybe you're on a Zoom meeting at work and it sucks. You turn your mic and your microphone and your camera off or something, and you put the Short Bus Diaries on in the background. I think that's really cool that or maybe a little bit of inspiration while you're tying, having some because I do that. I oftentimes, we did it the other night. We're tying and put on, some old DVDs of some fly fishing DVDs. But I think that's, something that I really like. And I don't know I don't think you would specifically ever set out and say, I'm going to make the best fly fishing background noise that there is. Don't sell yourself short to that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But I at least big picture, I think it's an easy watch. There's not a lot of you don't have to really focus on it I don't think to appreciate and enjoy it. You can glance up and watch a scene and go back to typing a work email and then watch some other scene. It's not that, it's not like you're necessarily going to watch episode 3 and be like, what the hell happened in episode 2?
Right.
What are they doing?
Right.
Who are these people? It's not who's that character? It's not like watching Game of Thrones or something where you have to focus the entire, when I watched it, of course I hated it. My wife made me watch it. But I'd pick up my phone and text someone. I'd look back up and there's some new person I've never seen and they're doing something important. It's not like that.
Dude, that's the thing. Those are the things that I think about as an editor, editing these. I'm all right, does this make sense? from us going here to here, and I'm like overthinking everything. And then it's good to know, because like being a perfectionist, it's very easy to like overthink stuff.
Yeah.
But it's good to know.
Well, it's good to think about.
It's good to think about, obviously, but it's also good to know that like, you don't have to overthink it sometimes. Like sometimes keep it simple.
Right.
And
we fished here, and now we're going to fish here.
Yeah. I also
Next.
I also think it's really cool because I like getting into fly fishing, was super into different videos, whether it was on YouTube or DVDs or anything like that, and that kind of inspired me to get into filming.
Yeah.
And get more into fly fishing. And so now, I don't think about this all the time, but like hearing stuff like that some other people like maybe look up to the videos, and that's a way for them to maybe have an escape, or get them to go outside more. Maybe them want to chase like doing something in crepe field.
Yeah.
Like that is so cool.
Yeah.
For me to be like, oh my gosh, I'm able to provide that for somebody.
Yeah.
So, and I think we're all able to do that. That's
right.
Without us thinking, it's like, oh, cool. We're just filming this and putting it out. But in reality, people are like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Or maybe they're like,
there's a lot more. Guys. There's more consequences, I guess, to doing it than I would like think. There, I don't know. Maybe that sounds weird. Like maybe consequences isn't. That's a good thing, I guess, in this scenario, right? Like you're putting out something that people are taking to heart and being like, oh man, like that'd be really cool to go do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it at least keeps me going. Like gives me more of a reason to make it than just like, I don't know, we bought a bus and we're taking it fishing.
We'll take it out every once in a while. It's like
what are you doing?
Yeah, and again, that's probably one of the motivators is like, oh, like there's all these people who are really excited. Like our community who's like
it makes me excited when I mean like we ran into someone today in Salt Lake that was like, oh, I watched all the Short Bus movies there, loved them.
That was so. I was sitting there. I was sitting in the passenger seat. I thought he complimented your car or something. He's just like, nice truck, and I was just sitting there like, whatever. But then
he wasn't saying nice truck. He was saying like, hey,
hey, I've seen your videos.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I watched all the videos. Like that's
cool.
I don't know. Not that it like. It kind of at least keeps me going. At least that people like them, like because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort, and I wouldn't do it if people didn't like them.
Right.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I should have turned the camera on.
Good.
It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty big because if people didn't like this series, if they didn't like what we were doing. Like we put it up on YouTube and everyone just went boo.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, well, never mind. That's not worth it.
I mean, it's like if it's a bad business idea, you're not going to continue to do it.
Right.
So I don't know.
So I mean, that at least makes me feel good. I'm like, well, at least somebody likes this video.
Yeah.
When I'm yelling at Steve, walking off, going for a walk through the campground, just. Mad. Like, well, somebody's gonna like this video.
Somebody might like this.
Somebody might like this video that we put out.
Might like the banter.
Not me, but somebody must.
Dude, like one of the funniest scenes, it was when we're at the boat ramp in the Madison our last night, and you and Brian are like you guys are like fighting over who should take the hoppers, and you guys are just like he's like, dude, but it was in my cup, and you're like. And then you're like, oh, I want it. He's like, no, I don't want it anymore. and then Steve's over there just chimes in like, I don't know. Did
we like throw him in the water or something? Or we just like, never mind.
Like, oh, you don't want him? Here you go. That scene cracked me up.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Well, there you go.
Our camera died again.
Oh.
So I'm gonna hop over here again.
There we are.
All right, guys. Here we are. We're crushing. Well, our GoPro died again, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Like we said, we thought this would be just a fun way to brainstorm some stuff, kind of review the Short Bus Diaries over this past year, and hopefully make some improvements going forward into the next series and into the next couple years of doing this. We would love to hear from you guys, constructive criticism, what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like about the last series, and how we can how you guys could maybe help us improve it.
Quit commenting that we need to go to Colorado.
We've heard that enough.
Stop. That's cool that you like Colorado. Don't tell me anymore to come to Colorado. Someone's already said it. It's a great idea. I'm not saying it's not a good idea.
No, we like the idea.
Well, I like the idea, but quit telling me to come to Colorado. I'm done with you.
Yep. You heard it there first. You heard it there, folks.
No, but we do love the comments. We do love the feedback. Please keep sending us stuff. Go like our Instagram. Can you do the thing? Linked right here.
Linked. I don't know if I can. Well, it'll be linked below.
It'll be linked below.
You can type in Short Bus Diaries. You don't need a link. Come on now. Maybe you do.
The kids need a link.
The kids need a link.
You can't ask them to do something and expect it to get done.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
All right. Call me. I'll come to your house. I'll click the link for you and like it on your account. No, but seriously, keep sending us feedback. We love hearing it. We love hearing your questions and what the Instagram DMs. Keep sliding into the DMs because we like reading a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
There you go. Slide into Adam's DMs. Go buy some Blue Line shirts.
Yeah, get some Blue Line shirts. Get you some merch. Pick up some flies and leaders while you're at it.
Short Bus Diaries merch.
Short Bus Diaries merch. We've got a little different Short Bus Diaries merch than what's on the Wildfly site.
Yeah, they got some new stuff, which is cool too.
We have these long sleeve fishing shirts, quick dry with SPF in them. So we've got those.
Mine has a little blood on them. Yours won't come with blood.
The ones you get are going to be fresh off the press, not worn.
Yep.
By Scotty, unless you pay extra for that, you can get those.
You can pay extra for that.
Yeah, hop over. We've got some merch from Short Bus as well. All the profits from that get rolled back into Short Bus Diaries. So, 100% of the profit off the merch goes back into the bus, goes back into making these videos. We've got to be able to fund some of the extra things, the filming stuff at least somehow. So, keep helping us out with if you like that.
Cool deal. Well, my knee hurts. It's on hardwood floor. But this was fun. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already on YouTube. Excuse me. Make sure you like the video. Helps us out a ton. Helps more people find the videos and helps us make this thing keep running. So, and lets us know we're doing the right thing. So here we go. Oh my gosh. Boom. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.